Florida sells itself as sunshine, beaches, and theme parks. But beneath the palm trees and postcard views lies a darker truth, one that has earned the state a grim reputation in true crime history. More shocking murders, more bizarre motives, more cases that leave investigators and the public asking the same question. How does this keep happening here? Tonight, we're stepping into Florida's deadliest secrets. This is not one story, it's a pattern. From quiet suburban homes to rundown motel rooms, Florida has produced some of the most disturbing crimes ever recorded in the United States. Cases involving children, pastors, families, and killers who blended seamlessly into everyday life. Many of them weren't caught right away. Some were never caught at all. And what makes Florida different isn't just the crime. It's the shock factor. These cases often explode into the media because they feel unreal. Crimes so brutal, so unexpected, that they almost sound fictional. But every victim was real. Every crime happened. And the consequences still echo today. One of the reasons Florida dominates true crime headlines is its transparency laws. Police records, interrogation videos, and courtroom footage often become public. That means viewers don't just hear about the crimes. They see them unfold. The lies, the confessions, the moments killers realize they've been caught. But that openness reveals something even darker: how often warning signs were missed. In many Florida cases, neighbors noticed something was off. Teachers reported concerns. Friends raised alarms. And yet, nothing stopped the violence in time. The question isn't just who committed these crimes, but why the system failed before they happened. Over the next chapters, we'll dive into Florida cases that shocked the nation. Crimes committed by children barely old enough to understand death. Trusted figures who hid horrifying secrets. Murders that unfolded in plain sight. And cold cases that still haunt families decades later. Each story peels back another layer of Florida's criminal reality. One that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about justice, media, and human nature. America wants to believe childhood is a shield against evil. Florida shattered that belief. In the late 1990s, a quiet suburban home became the center of a nightmare that forced the nation to confront an unthinkable question. Can a child commit murder and understand it? The case involved a boy barely old enough to spell his own name and a little girl whose life ended on a living room floor. What shocked investigators wasn't just the brutality, it was the calm that followed. No panic, no cries for help, just a story that didn't add up. At first, it was framed as an accident. Kids roughhousing, a tragic fall. But the injuries told a different story. Severe internal trauma, evidence of repeated blows. Medical examiners concluded what no one wanted to hear. This wasn't an accident, it was homicide. Florida prosecutors faced a choice that would ignite national outrage. Try a child as a child or as an adult. They chose adult court. Suddenly, Florida was at the center of a legal and moral firestorm. News cameras crowded the courthouse. Protesters gathered outside. Some demanded justice for the victim. Others asked how a child could be sentenced like a grown man. Inside the courtroom, the details were unbearable. The testimony, the photographs, the realization that violence doesn't always come from strangers in the dark, but sometimes from someone playing in the same room. This case didn't stand alone. Florida has seen multiple youth crimes that exposed cracks in the system. Children raised in unstable homes, exposed to violence early, ignored until it was too late. In many of these cases, warning signs were present long before the crime. Behavioral issues, school reports, prior incidents brushed aside. And every time, the same haunting question returns. Could this have been stopped? The public response was divided. Some believed punishment was the only answer. Others argued that condemning a child for life ignored the failures that shaped them. Florida's tough-on-crime reputation meant consequences were swift and often severe. But justice, especially involving children, is never simple. As appeals dragged on and laws evolved, one truth became impossible to ignore. These cases didn't just expose young offenders. They exposed a society unsure how to deal with them. And this is only the beginning. Florida's most terrifying crimes don't always come from broken homes or troubled childhoods. Sometimes they come from people everyone trusted: pastors, coaches, parents, neighbors, people who waved, smiled, and blended in so well that no one imagined what was happening behind closed doors. One Florida case began with a missing person report. Nothing unusual on the surface. A devoted church leader's wife hadn't been seen for days. Friends described the marriage as quiet but stable. The pastor himself helped organize prayer vigils, standing before cameras, asking the public for hope and faith. But investigators noticed something off. His timelines didn't match. His emotions felt rehearsed. And the more he spoke, the more contradictions appeared. Behind the scenes, detectives uncovered financial troubles, secret affairs, and a motive far darker than grief. When the truth finally emerged, it sent shockwaves through the state. The man trusted to offer guidance and comfort had orchestrated a murder, then tried to hide it behind scripture and sermons. And this wasn't an isolated case. Florida has repeatedly exposed crimes where authority became camouflage. Coaches who abused athletes, babysitters who crossed unthinkable lines, parents who turned predators. In each case, the betrayal cut deeper than the crime itself, because the victims trusted the very people who harmed them. What makes these cases especially disturbing is how long they often go unnoticed. Victims speak out and aren't believed. Warning signs are dismissed. Reputation becomes a shield until it collapses. When it does, the fallout is explosive. Media coverage intensifies. Communities fracture. People ask how they missed the signs, and whether they ever truly knew the people around them. Florida's openness with court records and interrogation footage means these cases don't stay hidden. Viewers watch suspects unravel in real time. They hear the lies fall apart. They witness the moment someone realizes the mask is gone. But exposure doesn't always mean closure. Some victims never see justice. Some cases end in plea deals that feel unsatisfying. Others remain partially unsolved, leaving families with questions that will never be answered. And that uncertainty, combined with betrayal, is what makes these crimes linger in the public's mind long after the headlines fade. Some Florida crimes end with arrests, trials, and prison sentences. Others end with nothing at all. No suspect, no body, no answers. Florida's warm climate and sprawling landscapes have made it a hotspot not just for crime, but for disappearances. Swamps, canals, highways, and miles of undeveloped land create perfect conditions for people to vanish without a trace. And once they do, time becomes the enemy. One such case began with a routine drive. A young person headed home late at night. A final phone call. A vehicle later found abandoned. Search teams combed the area for days, then weeks, but came up empty. No signs of a struggle. No witnesses. Just silence. Cases like this haunt Florida investigators because they defy logic. Did the person wander off and succumb to the environment? Were they picked up by someone who never left evidence behind? Or did they disappear by choice, leaving family to search for closure that may never come? Florida's missing persons cases often share the same tragic pattern. Early leads go cold. Media attention fades. Tips dry up. Families are left clinging to theories and hope, unsure whether to grieve or keep waiting. What makes these cases even more unsettling is how often they brush against normal life. A missing person last seen at a gas station. A surveillance camera that stops recording at the wrong moment. A witness who remembers something too late. Sometimes new technology brings renewed hope. Phone pings, DNA databases, social media reconstructions. But even with modern tools, many Florida disappearances remain unsolved decades later. And for every case you've heard of, there are dozens you haven't. Names never trending, faces never shared, stories quietly buried under newer headlines. These are the cases that stay with investigators the longest. The ones that resurface in late-night conversations and unsolved files stacked in evidence rooms. Because without answers, there is no justice. Only questions. By now, one thing is clear: Florida's crime stories aren't random. They form a pattern shaped by geography, laws, culture, and a system that often reacts after tragedy instead of preventing it. The question isn't whether Florida has more criminals than other states. It's why Florida exposes the darkest sides of crime so often, and so publicly. Florida's transparency laws play a major role. Police interrogations, 911 calls, body cam footage, and court records are frequently released to the public. This openness turns investigations into public spectacles, but it also reveals failures most states keep hidden. Missed warnings, poor communication, delayed action. Then there's the environment itself. Florida is a state of transplants, millions of people arriving to start over. New names, new jobs, new identities. For some, that fresh start becomes an opportunity to hide a past they don't want found. Add in tourism, poverty pockets, and dense urban sprawl beside isolated rural areas, and the conditions for crime multiply. But the most uncomfortable truth is this: many Florida crimes were preventable. Again and again, records show red flags that were ignored. Reports filed but not followed up, teachers and neighbors who spoke out, victims who tried to get help. In case after case, the system didn't fail once. It failed repeatedly. And yet, Florida also shows what exposure can do. Public outrage has forced reforms. Body cam footage has held officers accountable. Viral cases have reignited cold investigations. Families who refuse to stay silent have pushed stories back into the spotlight, sometimes leading to long-delayed justice. True crime isn't just about fear, it's about awareness. Every story told makes it harder for the next warning sign to be ignored. Every viewer who stays informed becomes another set of eyes watching for what others might miss. So if these stories unsettle you, they should. Because the darkness they reveal isn't unique to Florida. It's just more visible here.